Um, First order of business is the review of the meeting minutes from our August 23rd meeting. I do have a comment, but I wanted to open up to the rest of the board members if they have any comments or had a chance to review them. Dom, good. Phil, good. Janice, good.
Good.
All right, Rachel, my only comment was on number 7, where you tried to take some notes on the comments. We had some discussion at the end of that meeting. The 1, 2, 3, 4th bullet just said discussion of board restructuring. I think that was a little broad. I want to say that we talked about restructuring, like how to disseminate the agendas and the information to make it a little bit easier or more efficient. I think that's where the discussion was. I just don't know if I want to say discussion of board restructuring, because I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dom or Janice, because you were there. I don't think we talked about restructuring the board.
No, we didn't.
Correct, Dom?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think if we just change that bullet to maybe discussion of dissemination of board review materials, I think that's what we were talking about.
Sure.
And I want to say that the stuff that we got for this meeting and even that meeting, although it's a little different than how Bob used to give it to us, I think it's fine. I think it was pretty easy to go through and review things, so I don't really have an issue, but that was my only comment on the meeting minutes. So if we can make that change.
Of course.
Other than that, I think
just one kind of unrelated comment, just for future reference. She actually pronounces her name Rochelle.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Rochelle.
It's okay.
No,
I honestly didn't even notice. So thanks, Jay.
I think I did know that too, so I apologize.
Okay. Thank you.
But with that, if we make that change, I don't have any other issues with the meeting minutes. So if we have a motion to approve with that, I'll actually make the motion to approve with that one change. Do I have a second?
Second.
Janice, second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Great, thank you. All right. Item 2 on our agenda, comments or concerns of any person present today. I don't think we have any public members, anybody who joined the meeting to discuss anything. Item number 3, DCP Investigation Division complaint status.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Janita Hamill again. I do apologize that it went to Rochelle late because I didn't realize that your landscape architect 1 case file was on it showed up on my architect report that I did on Friday. And I separated it out, but I forgot to send it to her until this morning. So for when I run the architect board report, in order for me to capture some of the information that they're tracking with the legal department, I start their report from January 1st of 2018 through the current 2-month period that I work with, which should have been September 1st of 2023 to October 31st of 2023. In the time frame that I use for the architects of 2018 through now, I have 1 anonymous complaint on a landscape architect that was investigated during the past 2-month, the past time frame, and it was closed by the investigator because the landscape architect corporate entity has a license which for some reason went up into the credential block instead of being next to the Wolf Tree Landscape Architect. The investigator said there's no further action and that the business has its LARC registration backed by a LAR, and that the young lady is working on her LAR, and he also said that there is no percentage of ownership required. So he investigated the case and he found no issues.
Can you just run me through the acronyms, the LARC and the LAR?
Landscape Architect and Landscape Architect Corporate.
Landscape
So-
architect, landscape architect. Okay,
So I have a question.
shoot.
Sure, sir.
So they have a corporate license, however, they do not have a licensed or registered landscape architect on staff. Is that what it's coming down to right now? But since they have.
No,
corporate
they do.
license- They do.
They do. The allegation was that they didn't.
Oh. But it says she's working on her LAR.
Right.
So she's not licensed.
No, there is one there, and I would have to go and look at the file, but I believe there is a designer that works in this corporate entity with the landscape
Okay.
architect.
Yep.
That is,
Licensed
for some
landscape
reason, an anonymous complainant was trying to say she's doing the whole thing on her own. She's not in a corporation. She's not backed by a landscape architect when in fact she is.
Okay, yeah. So there's the under.
Yeah, and Dom,
Yep.
Dom. So in review of our applicants this week,
Mhm.
or this period, I did notice that Wolf Tree came up as a reference. And the licensed person there is Andrew Moyer, Connecticut, licensed since 2012.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
it seems like they do have a licensed person there. Just it was a coincidence or not, but I noticed that Wolf Tree Landscape Architecture did come up on a reference for employment, and the person listed is Andrew Moyer, who's been
Okay.
licensed in Connecticut since 2012.
Just curious, because like she said, we looked before and we didn't see that there was we didn't see this piece, so we just wanted clarification. We're cool.
Okay.
Right.
Any other questions, Mr. Chairman?
I do not. Does any other board members have any questions?
I have one question.
Yes,
So, yeah, so the complaint remains anonymous,
The
but
complaint, yes, ma'am.
the complaint,
Yeah,
who made
see,
the, but
I
was
know-
the
I know her.
complaint
She-
made by
Mhm.
a member of the public?
We don't know. They
Oh,
come
okay.
in, it's an anonymous complaint. We can investigate anonymous complaints. We also have an anonymous complaint form that's on our
Okay.
website. And they don't tell us who they are. We don't know who they are. It's just some anonymous entity out there filed a complaint with the department making the allegations that there was a misuse of a title. And then we have to send a letter to the company and the landscape architect as the contractor of record, as we call it. They get a copy of the complaint. They respond in writing to the investigator, who then reviews their responses versus the allegations made and makes a determination if, yes, the allegations warrant additional information, or did it have a preponderance of evidence that there was a violation that occurred.
Okay,
And
that's
it-
my only question was if any damage or there was any, anything. This is obviously just someone saying that someone is misusing the title versus that there was actual problem created in the construction or completion of a project.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I asked. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, no.
All right. Thank you again for that report.
You're quite welcome.
I just noticed we do have a couple people on the call.
Hey, Mark, hold on a second.
Yep.
We were on mute by some.
sorry.
weird thing.
Yeah, so back to Wolf Tree for just a minute. I'm not sure I get it. So are we saying that they do have a licensed landscape architect on staff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because there's nothing on their website. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything, but
We would have to suggest that's probably where the misleading information is coming from. If someone looks them up, there's
Mhm.
no record of it on the website, so.
and how do we know that they're an employee?
The investigators, we send a letter from the department requesting that they review it and that they respond, and then the investigator follows up with the company and a landscape architect to go through the allegations that are made either by someone that signs their name or by the anonymous entity.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome,
Perfect.
sir.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, that's exciting. We never get to talk about complaints. I did notice a few other people are on the call. I just want to jump back. I think at least one of them may be here just to be available for review of their application. But jumping back to number 2, I see Ryan and I see Gwen. I just wanted, if you have any comments or that you want to make as far as the meeting, or let us know why you're on the call, this is the time to let us know. And if it's just for an application, that's great too, but let us know. So Ryan?
Hi, everybody. Yes, Ryan Burns, DCP Legal. I'm here. I was invited to swear in your new member.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thanks, Ryan, for joining. And Maureen Nicholson is here. She is thankfully a new public member on our board, and we would love if you could swear her in.
I'd be happy to. Ms. Nicholson, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm, as the case may be, that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, so long as you are continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, the duties of your office to the best of your abilities? So help you God.
I will.
Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions from the board for DCP Legal?
No, that was great. Thank you very much, Ryan.
You're very
Mhm.
welcome. You have a good day.
And I think because we're still on new business, I don't want to keep Dom and Phil here, but Maureen, if you could give us just like a minute background on yourself, and again, welcome to the board.
Yeah, sure. Currently, I'm the first selectman in the town of Pomfret. Previous career was in landscape design and landscape architecture. I went to school at Cornell for landscape design and floriculture, and then I had a degree from University of Pennsylvania in regional planning and landscape architecture, and I practiced in North Carolina for several years, and then I joined a firm in Old Lyme and worked with a landscape designer in a design build firm in Old Lyme, which is that firm has since closed. So I am an elected official out in northeastern Connecticut right now.
Great. Well, thank you very much and welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Okay, and then Gwen, I believe you're also on the call, and I'm guessing that you're here to just be available for your application review?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Good
great.
morning, everyone.
Thank you very much. All right, so item 3, item 4, old business. Item 5, new business. We do have 4 applications for licensure. I did review the applications. I don't know if the rest of the board members have, but I will ask if they have. I have a couple comments. If it's possible, there is we could approve them in a group of 4. I'm going to make a comment before Dominic makes a comment, but I believe all 4 of these applications again came to us with the 3 E's. They have the education, they have the experience, but I guess unfortunately they also passed the exam without coming to the board before taking the exam. I think that's pretty much how that happened. Dom, you agree with that?
I agree with that. The dates are pretty good on them though, in terms of distance for me. The one question I have, again, you breezed over old businesses. Are we, in terms of the update for what we had talked about 2 months or 2 meetings ago and last meeting? I mean, are we set with the regulation the way it's been rewritten? Has that been taken care of, or do they have to wait for the executive?
Yeah, I was gonna
legislative
address-
session?
It's a good comment. I was going to address some of that just sort of in correspondence because I've had some conversations with
Okay.
Marguerite and we have sent some things off to Clarb. So I was going to cover that under item 6 in the agenda.
Well, that I don't have. I mean, I looked at all of them and they're all good quality candidates. So.
Yeah, it was nice. Janice,
It all looked great to me.
Phil,
Nice group of candidates.
Yeah, agreed. Looks good.
and Maureen. I'm not sure if you had a chance to review
I did.
things.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I'd like to see a couple of my alma maters represented in there. So, yeah. I thought
Yeah,
they
it
all looked
was.
like great candidates.
Yeah, it was an impressive group. And so if anyone would like to make the motion to approve Rebecca Lederer, I probably did not pronounce that, Gwen Hershap, Lily Herrera, and Gadon Kai.
I make
I'll
a
make the
motion
motion.
to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So we will put all 4 of those through. Gwen, if you had any comments or questions, congratulations.
Thank you very much. No comments or questions. It's been a long time coming for this, and I'm super excited to finally have this under my belt. And so thank you all very much.
And Gwen, it was, I guess you had to go through an investigation, but now you're not going to have to worry about that anymore.
I did, and I'm a little embarrassed about that. The wording on my website notes me as the primary designer, but a staff landscape architect, and I probably should have worded that differently. So I apologize for that. It's just been a process, but I'm really grateful to be official now. And yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. Good luck.
Yeah, we just
Thank
had
you
a
for
lot of
sticking with
questions
the
about.
process.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions about one of your former employers, that Ann Penniman. You got to be careful of.
Yeah. Yeah.
She taught me well.
And we miss her.
Yeah. Well, thank you all.
All right, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5B, that was 5A. 5B, we have no actual things to vote on, but there are quite a few new licensees in Connecticut through reciprocity. Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, New York, Maine, DC, and Alabama. So there were quite a few there. We don't have to do any approvals on those. Very similar to 5C. I think last meeting we had no corporate applications. This time we had quite a few. There were 4 of them. Again, this board doesn't have to do anything on those, but I think it's very nice to see them. And thank you for staff for doing the work on getting those through. Item 5D was continuing education. This was interesting. We haven't seen one of these in a little bit, but John Broadbent did put forth sort of a question on the coursework that he was going to take, a prep course for an arborist exam. And I don't know if anybody had the time to look at basically what he was asking, but from what I summarized is if he takes this course, which was 13 weeks of 2 or 3 hours of coursework, prep work to take the arborist renewal exam or arborist exam, would that qualify for CEUs? And I did review it, Dom. If you
Yeah,
had
we
any
looked into it.
comments.
We were actually just talking about it before the meeting, and I reviewed it, and I think it falls within health, safety, and welfare and would meet the requirements in our state. The health and vigor of a tree, either in the rural or urban environment, is a concern. And if it's something he's, going up to that type of a recertification for, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be acceptable.
Yeah, agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I was actually really happy. I mean, if those were ones that we had a comment on, I think we'd be in really good shape. So I actually compliment him on that one. And I was happy to see that one, is going to have some real probably in person and potential field time too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a great example. So I have no issue with that. So I think our response back to them, I think he coordinated directly with Rochelle. I think that's how that
Yes.
one came through.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we will let him know that the board is accepting and would accept that.
Do you need to take a vote on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
do you guys want to make a motion that it's an acceptable
Sure.
course or, okay.
Sure, anybody want to make a motion?
If someone read it up, I'll make a motion. I believe it was through an arboretum or something. I don't remember. I can't pull it up right now.
Bartlett.
It's the most re-
Bartlett,
But,
yeah.
but
It's
that's an
through
acceptable
Bartlett.
course. Furthermore, you might want to, I'll make the motion. Someone could second it. The only concern I have is if we provide him with that motion, he should submit that if he's ever audited.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we could all be
Just to
gone next year.
verify that he took it.
Verify
Yeah.
took it and verify that we approved it actually too.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We'll give Phil a second. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, great. 5E is just our meeting schedule coming up for 2024. Depending on when the Park and Rec show is next November, maybe we will look to change that one. I'm not 100% sure when it is.
It's always the week of Thanksgiving, so they can check the dates on that week.
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving. So.
So Rochelle, that would be the only one that I think we might want to maybe not do that same week.
Sure, I think, trying to find the schedule for next year.
I have a question.
Sure.
It looks like the meeting on May 31st is on a Friday. Is that right? Oh, it
Interesting.
should be 21st. It should be 21st.
Oh, good pickup.
I don't work on Friday.
So Rochelle, did you get that one?
Yeah, let me just double check. I didn't, if there might have been a reason, so let me just double check that I
Okay.
didn't.
I'm just looking at my calendar. Also, November 18 is a Monday.
Right, I think I had to change the November one for the holidays and the other board meetings because we don't double up.
Okay.
But let me just double check. It's been a minute.
May 31st is not Labor Day, so
Right, I think that one was a,
well, I'm sorry. It's certainly not Labor Day, but it's also not Memorial Day.
right, yeah, so it was supposed to be May 21st, so that was just a typo on my end, I apologize.
Okay.
And then I do have the 18th actually on the schedule. I believe it was because of the holidays, so let me just double check.
So it's May 21.
It is May 21, yes.
Okay.
That was my- Yeah, so I had the original date was the 19th, but because it falls on the day of another meeting, I pushed it back a day. I can move it forward a week or back a week if you guys want to keep it on a Tuesday. That's what happened.
How about moving it back a week before we get into that holiday
Yeah.
travel?
To the 12th.
Probably
Yeah,
makes
I can
sense.
do, let me just double check that's not.
It
So
makes more
November,
sense.
yeah, that should be fine. I'll change that to, we got November 12th then,
Yeah.
can do.
And then the May one would be May 21st. Is that what? we're-
Correct. Yes, that was
Okay.
it was May 21st. Yeah.
Okay, great.
You guys
Okay.
resend that to us too, since we're not taking notes.
Yeah.
at our-
Yep, I'll send out the invite. I just didn't send out any invites until the last meeting of the year. That way there's no confusion. So
Okay.
you guys will get, you guys should get some meeting invites within the next couple weeks. Okay,
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
of course.
All right, item 6, couple things. I have had some email correspondence with UConn. Very good, sort of back and forth. We wanted to get up there this fall. That didn't happen. But in talking to both Jill and Mariana, their recommendation was perhaps rather than trying to get into a class time, that we actually meet at UConn with the student chapter at one of their student chapter club meetings, which is in the early evening, like a 4:30 to 5:30, which might give us a little bit more flexibility rather than eating up a middle of a day or trying to jump into an actual class like professional practice. So she is coordinating directly with the new chapter club president, with the hopes that we can hit one of their sort of 4:30 to 5:30 meeting timeframes. And whomever is available at this board, on this board, is more than welcome to join. I think it would be nice to maybe get up there with as many of us as possible, make a little bit of a presence, and then maybe even grab dinner afterwards or something like that. I think it's time to sort of get together and stop staring at little squares on a screen. So more to come on that one, but the hopes is that's what we're targeting, sort of an evening, sort of informal. We can give a little presentation, we can get to know some of the students, but at their student chapter club meeting.
Sounds good.
All right, so I thought that was good news. And then for Dominic's purposes, Marguerite I had a meeting with Marguerite just to sort of discuss our website, our board website, and some of the opportunities that she's taking advantage of to be able to get some more information right up front on our that initial web page, to try and get some information out there that actually spells out what we all know now, that the first 2 E's of experience and education are very important. Come back to the board, let us review them, and let us approve you to go sit for the exam. So that is something that we're working on getting up actually on our website, which I think will be very good. And then the other thing that's been being coordinated, I'm not sure if it was Rochelle or Marguerite, but we actually just sent an email to CLARB, letting them know that we did do a review of our regulations and statute. And this is basically what it says, is that, we have the first 2 pillars of education and experience. Then the candidates are supposed to come to our board and we're supposed to approve them to sit for the exam. So if either Rochelle or Marguerite want to correct what I said or add to it, please do it this time. But I'm happy to say that everybody seems to be kind of working together to make some of this stuff happen that we've been talking about for a while. The other thing that we're going to add to the website is our updated letter that also summarizes what our landscape architectural stamp can be used for and be accepted for. It was previously a letter written by Vince McDermott, which is a past chair of this board. I updated that letter, still emphasizing the same things, that our landscape architecture registration and stamp should be permitted for certain aspects of the site planning approval process. That also, with any luck, will be up on our website as well. So we're trying to use that in order to sort of get some information more out there. But Marguerite or Rochelle, anything you want to add to that?
No, that was me though. I went ahead and reached out to CLARB to let them know about that change, and I will be making any website changes.
Great, thank you. And you were very helpful. I'm so happy that we can start to do some things there.
Thanks, Toby.
I'm in process right now. Sorry.
Dom, questions, comments?
Nothing. I'm good. I'd like to welcome our newest member, and you know as well as I do, I'm very excited that we are growing in numbers on this board. A board that is fully staffed and functional is a benefit to the state of Connecticut, and I want to keep going. I know we need 2 more public members. If you know people, reach out to them. I don't think we ever figured out the Woods issue. Maybe we could touch on that, but I set it as a goal that I really want to see this board full. I think it's great with the collaboration of the individuals that are on it. I think we can accept a few more people into the ranks. It'd be great. That's it.
So do we know where we stand on Steve Woods?
Yeah, that was on our meeting minutes of our August meeting. I didn't ask for an update, but does anyone have an update on the DCP side on where that
I
Steve
do.
Woods? Okay, great.
So Jay and I were in contact and get contacted over at the AG's office. And they said that they have reached out a couple times. When we discussed it back in August, when we brought it up after the meeting, they reached out again, and I believe they were not receiving any communication back from Mr. Woods. That was the last I heard, was that they had sent out some communication back to him, whether to see if he was still interested or not. And then they haven't heard anything back. So
Is there a way that we can check to see if we have the right contact information?
I'm not sure. I know we spoke with Tom over at the AG's office. I'm not sure who I would contact to get updated information, contact information for Steve, but if you have contact information for him, I could certainly pass it along to Tom over at the AG's office to see if that's what they have.
Okay.
If that works.
Yeah, because very, very, very odd situation. Yeah, he says he hasn't received any correspondence. So.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if anybody has contact
I'll send
information
that.
for him, perfect, and I'll make sure it gets passed along. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Phil, just get it right to
Mhm.
Rochelle. I think you have her contact information via email.
Yes.
Great, great.
We'll just keep
Any other
working for full board in 24? Come on.
That's
Full board
it.
in 24.
That's it.
Yes.
I wonder when the last time this board was 100% full.
That's all. We're gonna work towards it.
That's right. We're moving forward, Don. That's right. Any other comments, board members, anyone else that's on the call before we close this meeting? Hearing none, I think we can close this meeting at 10:05. And thank you everyone for being very efficient. Thanks, Phil and Dom, for jumping on at the show. Go enjoy yourself for the last 2.5 hours.
Thank you,
And
everybody. Have a
Maureen.
wonderful
Thank you.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
That's right. And
Happy
everybody have a great
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Welcome, Maureen. Good to have
Thank you very much.
Thanks all.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Everybody have a great holiday. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.